Welcome to the Roto Joe's Fantasy Football Podcast tonight. Thursday night football betting preview. My Patriots taking on the Bills. We have takes. Before we get to that, let's go over. We'll rate these takes. I have 5 takes. We'll rate these guys cold, spicy, or flaming hot. There's 5 takes. We'll rate all 3 of them. First one, Matt Stafford will not play another game in 2022.
I mean, I got to make sure I understand the rating scale, but probably I don't think that's that hot of a take. I think that's the way that's going to go.
You understood it correctly then. Yeah, cold would be no
Okay.
good. Like cold would be like, yeah, it's probably going to happen.
Okay.
Hot would be like kind of, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that one's going to be cold for me because once I read into his injury, he might potentially have a career-ending injury. I mean, those neck injuries, that's nothing. They think it is.
I knew it was a concussion, I thought. I didn't realize it was a whole neck thing.
Yeah, that's what the last thing I read about it was potentially a neck thing, and if they find it to be a neck thing, they're just going to shut him down. But if those neck injuries, those guys can fuck themselves up to a point they never walk again. So hopefully he's smarter than that. But yeah, it could potentially be a career-ending thing. I mean, Chris Carson just had a pretty nasty neck problem. I don't like that one at all.
Yeah. Stafford, I don't think we see him again this year. I mean, Robinson's out, Kupp's out. That went to shit. Remember
and they have
like, oh, we'll come back, feel good, come back. Not working out.
Well, and they will. What I like about this is going and looking at it. I think they are slated to give that pick to Detroit, and it's a top 5 pick right now. They're 3-7.
Detroit's
and if Stafford's out,
Detroit will get a better pick from them than their own, which we'll talk about here in a second.
Oh yeah, I think. Yep, I agree with that. And everybody thought it'd be a 20 to 30 pick.
Yeah, it's become a lot more valuable. It went to shit fast. I mean, game one, it just did not look good. Trevor Lawrence will be a top 7 quarterback rest of the season in fantasy, and the Jaguars will win 4 more games in the last, this week 13? Like last 6-7 weeks of the season.
Ooh.
They play for context, they will be playing Detroit, Tennessee, Dallas, the Jets, the Texans, and the Titans. So the Titans twice, Detroit, Dallas, the Jets, and Houston.
I'm going to say that's at least spicy there. That last time Houston lost to Jacksonville was 2017. So while we may not play very many good games, we beat the Jaguars every fucking time. We're going to finish the season with 2 wins, and it's going to be both against the Jaguars. I like the way they're going. They're definitely building some momentum. It's good to see Trevor Lawrence actually be able to play quarterback and not look like a steaming pile of dog shit. He's a guy that in Scott Fishbowl I grabbed way late, and he is the perfect quarterback for that type of league. I mean, just accurate as hell. Really, really, I mean, he was like a 30-point a game type of quarterback in that league. And it seems like every single week. So definitely glad to see them get moving. I don't think they'll win 4 games, but I do think he plays at least a top 10 level the rest of the season.
So I think they beat the Lions, which they are +1 right now against the Lions. Go run and take the money line and that. So they're
just one.
They'll beat the Lions. They'll beat the Jets. I think they beat the Titans once, and they beat Houston.
I don't think they beat Houston.
You don't think they beat Houston? Does Davis Mills ever come back?
Man, really at this point, so you're on week 13 and you've only won one game. It is what it is, man. I think Davis Mills at this point, like I wanted to believe the hype going into the season. It took me about 2 games to realize that hype was ill-advised. He's probably a really good backup quarterback. I'd say probably a top 5, if you will, backup quarterback in the NFL. But he's just not it. And there's a lot of things I think potentially going wrong. Because Kyle Allen didn't look a hell of a lot better either. So there's this whole year is just a wash.
Next take. Miami will not win a playoff game after wild card weekend.
That one I'm gonna go in the more middle of the pack kind of take. I think that's possible. For me, if Miami was in the NFC, I'd say they'd be a Super Bowl favorite.
Yep.
To make it to the Super Bowl. Now the AFC, that gets a little tricky. I think if they're not a first round bye, they're probably going to be right outside of that. And then who are you realistically looking at? What are the bottom 2? Like the Jets and the
probably New England and some other shitty team.
Yeah, so they'll probably beat the brakes off that first one. But that second week, then you're looking at them going in and playing a first-round bye team, which I think's Chiefs or the Chiefs or the Bills, probably.
Yeah.
The way that ends up working out. And, yeah, I don't really see them making it past either one of those teams. It'll be a good feel-good story because they sucked royally last year. They get Mike McDaniel, who, done wonders down there. So I think so. I think I'm probably agreeing with you more the more that I think about it.
Yeah, I think that's like in the middle of the pack as well. I don't really think that's too hot. Lions finished with a better record than the Rams. That's cold just because everyone shut down.
I can't believe how bad they are, to be real honest with you. And it all revolves around.
It crumbled. Like everyone got hurt. Seemed like Odell left and they were fucked.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They're coached well. They've got a lot of key, players, and they just haven't been able to put it together this year. It all started with the offensive line. They really took a hit when, oh God, what's his name? Whitworth retired.
Yeah.
And every Rams game I've seen is just Stafford running for his fucking life. So, and he's not that type of quarterback who is going to be able to do anything with pressure.
Nope.
He's not fast enough to move. He's got to have a clean pocket to play at a high level. He's kind of, and it's that kind of quarterback's a dying breed, but he's kind of in that same like Aaron Rodgers type of territory. When Aaron Rodgers is pressured, he does not do well, and neither does Stafford.
No. Last take, Zach Wilson played his last game as an everyday starter.
I agree. Here's the deal. He's not good. He does not have the capability of being good. I'm not even certain he's not the worst quarterback on that roster. I think Flacco's better than he is. Mike White's, whoever the fuck Mike White is, he's better than Zach Wilson, and I just think he's probably done. They have a pretty high investment in him, so he might fall back in and out of the starting lineup here and there. If Mike White has a bad game, maybe they put him in and, bobble back and forth. But I'm not a big Zach Wilson fan, and I think if the Jets, have a quarterback fall to him, maybe like Hendon Hooker in the second round, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
Yeah, Zach Wilson sucks. I mean, I never understood the appeal. I don't think we'll ever see him again. He was bad. Never looked good. Never looked good. It just a whole lot of meh. What do you think Bijan Robinson's worth is in dynasty leagues? Does he step in and become the RB1 right away?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And here's why. You can't be too quick to throw, that claim to RB1 around in dynasty, because here's the deal. You look at guys like like Josh Jacobs, for instance. It took him a few years to get it going. It's unreal. Well, I mean, someone's going to do it. They are. Every time one of these type of guys comes around, someone's going to sell the fucking farm to go get him. But it's unrealistic to guys never played an NFL snap. I love Bijan Robinson, right? I think he is easily probably the third best running back to ever play at the University of Texas. Here's the thing though. He could go to a bad position or bad team, bad scheme. He could end up in a timeshare. We don't know what's going to happen right now. So from a fantasy perspective, it's hard for me to say a whole lot. Would I give up 2 to 3 first round picks? Probably. But
he's fantasy Twitter's RB1 already. Can't question it.
Cool.
Would you trade Jonathan Taylor for Bijan?
Yes, I would.
I will be. All right. So
I would, because Jonathan Taylor's on the decline.
I don't know if he's not Najee Harris or anything,
but he's great value, Najee Harris.
Dude, Najee sucks. I love it. I don't love it, but it's funny. I called it.
So here's my thing is I think if you took Najee Harris and you put him on like even a mediocre team, I think it'd be a different story.
No,
mediocre team that they were last year.
I disagree. He's inefficient. He's David Montgomery. Now, did David Montgomery have an RB4 year? Yeah. Was it because he played Houston and Jacksonville for like 4 consecutive weeks? Yeah, but still. All right. Thursday night football. Patriots going up against Buffalo. It's going to be in New England. Potential 21-mile-per-hour winds. Buffalo's favored by either 3.5 or 4, depending on the book you're on. The over-under is 43.5. Now, let me tell you why New England's going to win this game.
Oh.
New England, right now, is 6-5. We've had really, really, really good defensive showings and some very lackluster offensive performances. Buffalo comes into this game struggling in the pass game in 4 out of the last 5. Josh Allen had that little elbow thing against the Jets. In the last 5 games, he's thrown for over 240 yards once, 311 against Minnesota. Other weeks, 216, 183, 186, 237. Devin Singletary and James Cook aren't going to beat New England. They're just not. And Bill Belichick's seen Josh Allen enough to have a scheme. I'm not saying we're better than them. I'm just saying we can sneak one regular season game out here. Mac Jones has looked better. Here's the deal. Buffalo, Von Miller's out. Buffalo's not going to pressure. They're gonna send 3 or 4. Now with Vaughn, they can get a lot of pressure, and they'll still be able to. They have a talented line, but not as much as with Vaughn. Mac Jones, the only fucking thing that guy's good at is progressing through a defense and getting rid of the ball quick. This team plays zone. That's what Mac wants to play against. I think New England, in a really mucky, low-scoring affair, is going to beat the Bills. Now, we won't do it in Buffalo, and we couldn't do it in the playoffs. This game, though, we're going to win?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know about all that because here's the deal. The Patriots just aren't very good. And here's what keeps them in these games is their defense. And I just don't think that they can even stop a limp noodle arm Josh Allen. I think he's going to run him over just to do it. You know what I'm saying? Last week, who did the Bills play last week?
They played Detroit and barely won.
Detroit and barely won, but Josh Allen also took a lot of rushing upside in that game too. He finished as quarterback
against the worst scoring defense in the league. That's not New England.
Oh Lord, here we go. But here's the thing. They are on their way to, a 1 seed. I think they're going to come out guns blazing. Yes, Josh Allen is a little fucked up. I think more so than the media wants people to believe. You can just tell. You can tell by the way he's not really taking as many shots downfield, more little dump-off passes, a lot more running. I still think they're going to win. That's me, though.
What are they going to do offensively other than beat us deep to stop us? They might not score over 17 points.
No, I thought you were going to say might not score.
No, I'm not dumb. And here's the deal with Mac. Like I said, very good in certain situations, and it just so happens that this matchup perfectly lines up with what he's good at. No Von Miller. No, they don't play a lot of man, and they also don't blitz a lot. I think Ramondre Stevenson might have 80 yards receiving. This is definitely a Jacoby Myers receptions over game. I think New England's going to edge this out. Bill's good for one crazy win a year.
Here's the thing is that crazy win was that kickoff return last second touchdown.
We would have beat them in overtime. No, it wasn't. We would have beat them in overtime.
I don't know. That to me is their crazy win of the year because they really shouldn't have won that game. But they're lucky that
was that a crazy win? Yes. But that wasn't the crazy win. This will be the crazy win.
Oh. They're lucky Zach Wilson can't move a fucking football down the field to save his life. So or his job. But
are you over under 43.5 points?
I'm definitely going under.
Okay.
I'm going under because I don't think the Patriots are really that good at scoring many points. I'm just saying that Jets game, if Daddy Flacco was in there, whoo-wee.
What would Joe do? New England's not Detroit. New England has a very good defense.
Joe Flacco's still elite.
All right, parlay time. Your parlay for this game, it's a plus 1,000. You have a Ramondre anytime touchdown, the Bills money line, and Allen anytime touchdown, and then the good old fumble lost.
Yes. Like I said, I think Josh Allen's going to do a lot more work on the ground and through the air. That's starting to be in recent weeks one of my favorite lines because with his injury, not injury, it really limits his ability to throw it. So I think he gets a lot more action on the ground. Ramondre anytime touchdown. That's really my safest bet for someone to score on this team. He just does so many different things. He's a guy I actually really like to watch. Really glad I bought a lot of those shares and redrafted in other leagues this year. Missed a lot of takes, but I was right about that one, so that was cool. What was I going to say? Is Damian Harris still hurt? Because I saw him on crutches. What the fuck happened to him? Plays 5 snaps in 3 different games? Got to go back on IR?
He won't be there next year, so he doesn't matter.
No, he definitely won't. He'll be someone's backup. But yeah, so a lot of different reasons I like Ramondre to score this week. The fumble lost, that's one that I'm just really it's really starting to grow on me because I've been on the better side of that most of the time. I still haven't pulled up the data as far as like how many games you lose a fumble in or any of that. I'm sure if I read the data, it probably wouldn't support my unreasonable love for that bet. But that's just one that I kind of like to sprinkle in there sometimes, see what it does with the odds because sometimes it'll just shoot it through the roof. Like this one, in my opinion, those are three very likely bets, and then you add in the fumble loss and it shoots it up to 1,000. So definitely really liking that one. And then the Bills money line, man, I just think I know you're real big on the Patriots defense, but the Bills are just the better team, the more superior team, and
Are
they
they if
also play
Josh
the
Allen
Patriots.
can't reach 40-plus yards down the field? No. Well,
It's been another week, though.
I don't know with no Vaughn. I don't know. We're starting to get in the weeds here. It's a little close. Bill Belichick holds an advantage over the talent level. All right. My parlay. It's a plus 1,100. First leg is the Patriots money line. Hurt Allen.
That's at 1,100.
No Vaughn. Win. Bill Belichick. Matt Judon. Diggs might burn up Jalen Mills, but that's about it. Bills under 28.5 total points. Bills went under in 3 of their last 5. New England does not allow a lot of points. I don't think even Buffalo, whose offense has taken a step back this year, actually, at least aesthetically a little bit, I just don't think Buffalo's going to score more than 4 touchdowns. And then Gabe Davis under 44.5 receiving yards. He's went under in 3 of the last 5. While again, Jalen Mills might burn, or Diggs might burn Mills quite a bit, Davis is going to get clamped. Book it. No deep shots. Man can't run a short route. Fucked. Last leg, Stevenson over 39.5 receiving yards. Stevenson's been a target hog the last 5 weeks. Buffalo, again, a lot of zone. Like to get pressure with 3 or 4. I think we'll see a lot of Stevenson dump-offs. Mac Jones, you see the trust and comfort level there. Quite honestly, Stevenson's kind of like the first or second receiver in this offense.
Target-wise, I'd like to see the numbers because I bet if he's not first, it's not far off from second because, I mean, the guy just gets action. And honestly, when you look at his rushing totals, he would not even be playable if he couldn't catch the football. Nope. He would be a waiver wire guy, absolute desperation play. But, I mean, like last week, what, he had 30 rushing yards and then 70 receiving yards? I mean, that's what makes him as valuable as he is. And that's the only way a Patriots running back's ever going to survive the Bill Belichick curse. Because Bill doesn't give a fuck. He's not really that big into running the football, even though he really needs to probably get a little bit more friendly with running the football because he doesn't have the quarterback he did the last 20 years to be able to do some things for him. But, yeah, those guys, like, I remember James White RB1 season, and the guy might have rushed the ball 15 times the whole fucking year. Just because, that's how that offense is built. They love the running backs. They love the tight end. Well, they used to like the tight ends. I don't know really what's going on with that anymore. But all that money they got in tight ends, you think they throw it to them a little bit more.
Don't get me started. The way we use them, we should have just fucking signed a couple like a Tyler Conklin type of guy for like a tenth of the price. James White in his RB1 years, one RB1 year, he had an RB10 finish in 18, rushed the ball 94 times.
That's a hell of a lot more than I thought. Who was injured that year, though? Somebody was. Yeah, like it was one of those situations. Like somebody was injured.
Yeah, Ramondre is just bloated James White.
That boy thick, though, man. I'd hate to try to tackle that guy.
Is Jamal Williams LeGarrette Blount reincarnated?
No.
Yes,
Jamal Williams?
Yes.
Huh. No.
Touchdown only value?
Well, I mean, yeah, so he's 2022 James Conner. That's what he is.
I mean, I feel like he has 13 total touchdowns. That's a little more than James Conner. James Conner had like 18 last year. It was stupid.
Yeah, it was a lot. I just think he's one of those guys that next year is going to get criminally overdrafted. Because and same thing with James Conner. And James Conner still every now and then he'll fall in the end zone a couple times and have a 20-point game, but more times than not, he's just absolute fucking garbage.
Jamal Williams is definitely going to get the Kareem Hunt treatment. He'll be like the RB 20, 24 off the board, and he's going to finish like the RB 40.
And I think there's a couple leagues where I took Kareem Hunt before Josh Jacobs. And we all need to have a moment of silence because I know I'm not the fucking only
one. Dude, I was pissed. I was actually really high on Josh Jacobs, right? And then
I was too.
I let fantasy Twitter get in my head, and then the Hall of Fame game shit happened. And I was like, yep, done. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. Ever. Remember we all freaked out about that? Man played like a quarter, and they were like, "Oh no, he's back up."
Well, and then there was a lot of trade talk before the season too. A lot because I mean, here's the thing. I agree with that take because there was a lot of signs pointing to him not even making the year on that team, let alone having the kind of year he did because they didn't pick up his fifth year like right before the season. They played him in the Hall of Fame game. They go and get Zamir White. There's just a lot of signs to me that pointed to him not being the person. And then Josh McDaniels does Josh McDaniels shit, and all of a sudden he's what, RB2 right now?
Yeah, league winner. All right, last thing we'll touch on here. Team USA Soccer, how are we feeling? Made it to the group of 16, playing the Netherlands Saturday. Underdogs, but I took the plus 365 money line.
I don't know enough about soccer to really speak on it.
So here's the comparison.
Here's the deal.
The U.S. men's team. The U.S. men's team is Jacksonville. Get a little dangerous sometimes. Lots of young talent. The leader is a little underperforming, but there's major flashes. Team USA is Jacksonville. Maybe a Super Bowl contender in some years.
Oh.
But it was if Jacksonville made it to the wild card this year. Like, imagine Jacksonville sneaking into the wild card and how everyone would feel. That's how, like, Team USA making it to the round of 16 is.
Huh. Yeah, man, I just always assumed all these other countries were just better at soccer than we were. And I think for the most part, that's probably true. It's like when USA plays baseball. The fucking Dominican Republic's going to smoke the shit out of us every fucking time. You know what I mean? I feel like anything overseas that plays soccer is probably, they raise them kids like that.
Could you imagine like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and like, I don't know, some NBA athletes if they train all their life for soccer? Team USA would be the shit. LeBron James is a goalkeeper.
That's a big motherfucker to be putting in the goal.
That's what I'm saying. You're not scoring. Anything else we want to touch on?
No, man. I mean, good luck to you and that bet. We'll have to circle back on this one over the weekend because I think you're probably going to hit it besides that Patriots winning thing. I don't really.
Just wait. All right, guys. We'll see you Saturday night, Sunday morning.